Jofferion. James is my brother, man. We met each other in college, our freshman year in college. Later became frat brothers, and been connected ever since.
Okay. So tell us what you think about the product, about IPGen. What are your thoughts?
I think it's game changing. It changes the entire market in terms of how we facilitate and how we essentially move in terms of innovation within this market that we move in, and the capitalist market that we live in America. And I think it streamlines that process and provides so much opportunity for everybody involved in that process. And I just think it's something that's much needed and well overdue.
If you had to describe James in one word, what would it be?
Loyal, dedicated, transparent. I give you 3. You don't want no stories right now.
I mean, you know.
You got your shit in the cup?
Yeah, see, yeah. I just want you to see.
No,
he got a
I
straw.
Go ahead.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, backing up a little bit when I was leaving high school, and one weekend, you know, I went to Virginia Tech with my mom and just fell in love with the campus. You know, how open it was, how it just seemed fresh. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go here. And so once I committed to the school, they had this little orientation over the weekend, and you had to come up for a couple days. And so they give you a tour of the campus, and during the tour, they're like, hey, you know, like, this is where all the girls stay, this is where the guys stay. And so they showed me this boys' dorm, and I walked through the dorm, man, and it's like 4 guys in a room. Everybody on the whole floor shares a bathroom, and I just thought that whole situation was crazy. And so I was talking to one of the advisors at the school, and I said, you know, you showed us some of the new dorms being built. Who lives in those dorms? And they said, well, those are for upperclassmen and freshmen that are part of certain programs. I said, programs like what? So one of the programs they mentioned was a leadership program. And I was like, what do I have to do to be in that program? And they said, well, you know, you have to do essay, and, you know, you have to basically show some type of leadership within your current capacity in school. And so I went home. First of all, I stayed at the hotel that night. I wasn't staying in the boys' dorm with everybody else. But I went home and I filled out all the information. I was accepted into this leadership program at Virginia Tech. And so I get there in the fall, and it's not a lot of our people there. So I'm in the dorm room with, you know, a guy from Chicago and people from Virginia and some people from down South Virginia. And it was a complete different dynamic of what I was used to in a school that was 90% black. I didn't have any representation of my own. And lo and behold, one of the roommates within my dorm, the way the dorm was set up, it was, you know, 3 different rooms, and we shared a bathroom. So it was 6 guys sharing a bathroom. And one of my roommates was this kid, came in, and he looked like me, and that was James. And so we were roommates from our freshman year, and little did I know that was gonna be my brother for life. It's kind of how it happened. That's how we initially met. And so when I first met him, you know, getting the feel for each other, he didn't really know me, I ain't know him. Everybody was kind of standoffish, and we didn't hang out or instantly, you know, connect or click or anything like that. It was just like mad cordial, trying to figure out each other. I was hanging out with the white folks and you know, going to their fraternity parties and all that stuff. But on the flip side, I would see James going out with he knew all the black people that was there from, you know, his area, and they were going to, like, you know, was it Nesby and all these different engineering type groups. So he was part of that circle, and he knew our people, and I didn't really know him because I was the outsider. And we had a common connection, man. We started playing video games and hanging out in the dorm, and then we started playing ball together and playing pool. and we just learned that we was actually, you know, a lot closer than we realized, you know. And then he introduced me to his circle, and that was my people all through college as we grew up, man. We had a nice little clique, and we just got real cool. We got real cool, and then the second semester of our freshman year, we both pledged Kappa together. And so we went through a process that, you know, without going into detail, you know, you think you're close to somebody, but that really brings you closer, and you really know who your true people are, you know. And it put in concrete what I pretty much already knew, but he had my back and I had his. And then from that day forward, man, that was my guy.
I had to go there a summer before the school year started. I was in an engineering program called Aspire, and so that's where I met, you know, quite a few people who look like us. And it's crazy that when I first got there, the alphas showed so much love. Like, I was going to alpha parties that summer.
Oh, God.
You know, and, you know, I don't know if I ever told Dante that, but like the alphas were trying to get me, you know, trying to, you know, talk to me and stuff. And I was like, I don't know, you know. But then when the school year started, and I saw the cap, I was like, hey, that's me all day, you know. And so, you know, that's when we did that. But yeah, just meet him in that leadership dorm. You know, you already know the people in there already, you know, are a certain type of people. You know, those people that you want to be around. And so, you know, already up top, I was like, all right, he in his dorm. He's another black guy, and so we clicked, like, you know. It didn't take too long at all, and then it went throughout college. You know, we ended up getting an apartment together, you know, after our freshman year. So yeah, it went from there. You know, we had a lot of good times. Probably too many to talk about now. You know,
sure.
So you know, things that we could go into, you know, later. But yeah, I just had a lot of good times with this guy at Virginia Tech. He definitely had my back, and I definitely appreciate it.
So you guys went through the whole, you know, Kappa experience, going through that pledging. Was that something that you guys kind of decided together? That's what because you guys were already pretty close at that point. So was that something that you guys kind of decided together that you both wanted to do that, or was it?
That's a journey that everybody take on their own, you know. And I don't say that just to be. No, it wasn't decided together. Like, he had to make that decision on his own, and it was actually through a mutual friend that we even knew that each other was interested in Kappa, because I came into college knowing that I wanted to be a noob, and because I have family, and I was looking for him, you know, and I couldn't really find him. And then once I finally realized that it was some on campus, I got excited, and so then I, you know, started looking for the interest meetings and all that stuff, and it was through another cat, Jamal.
Yeah.
This dude Jamal, James and I had, you know, been talking to him on separate occasions, and it just kind of came out that we was interested, and he actually let us know that it was an interest meeting coming up, and that we could find out some more about, you know, the system. And so that was kind of how we even found out that each other was interested, because that's not something you really just openly talk about in college, you know. And so we found out through a mutual friend that we both had some similar interests. So again, it was just one of those things where it was just fate, you know, how that all worked out.
And now we're like, what, 20 years in the bond.
Exactly.
Exactly
20 years. In April was 20 years.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It goes by so fast, man. I'm at a gas station a couple of days ago. He saw me pumping my gas. He actually worked at the gas station. He was a high school student, and he came up to me. He was like, I see your place. He was like, where'd you go to college? I told him Virginia Tech. He said, I'm thinking about that when I go to school. He's a senior, just graduated. He's going to Morgan State in the fall. And so, you know, I was talking to him, you know, giving him some encouragement, you know, talking to him and all of that. And, you know, I gave him my business card, and I told him, you know, hit me up if you have any questions and all of that. It's all about giving back to this next generation, you know, however we can. And, you know, he saw my car. I said, you know, I see your car. And, you know, he said, what did I do? I told him this and that. And I just like seeing young black men who are not out here doing bad things. He had a job. He's working. He pulling trash, so he's grinding. And I think that young man's going to do good in life, you know. And if I got any, you know, thing to say about it, you know, I'll help him along the way as much as I can. But with stuff like that, you know, I didn't have anybody like that at a young age because I didn't know any Kappas growing up. Yeah. But then after I crossed, I went back to my high school. This guy was a Kappa. That guy's a Q. This guy's an Alpha. You know, so I learned that afterwards. But you know, growing up, you know, we didn't know too many. So it was definitely a blessing to, you know, go to college and get around some like-minded people, and you know, go through that journey.
I know you guys, you know, you went to college together. You were roommates. Did you know, you know, like when you're young, you know, we're just kind of in it for the moment, right? When we're going through these certain processes and things like that. But did you know James was destined for greatness, or was it just kind of like this thing where, you know, you just felt like you guys would go to college, get a degree, and just kind of be on your way? I mean,
no, I absolutely knew he was destined to be special. I didn't know to what degree or to what field. James has always been analytical. I probably knew he was a lawyer before he knew he was going to be a lawyer. We couldn't have a conversation or a debate about anything without him having the devil's advocate perspective on it, or, you know, just, like I said, analytical. He would dig into something and you couldn't just let it be. You know, like if he had a point of view, he was going to argue his point, and it didn't matter how petty it was. Like, he was determined to have that last word. You know what I mean? And so that never would have missed, man. He had that mentality that he could argue his point, and he was going to have a backup for it as well. It wasn't just fluff, you know. So you had to be on your toes. You had to know what you was talking about, but it made for some interesting conversations and some funny moments as well, you know, all alike. But yeah, I knew he was going to be something special. We, you know, through the frat, we had to do events. We had, you know, we came into our chapter at a time where there was really no presence, and we basically, our line was called the Resurrection. So we were the ones that we had to bring the chapter back to life, so to speak. So we had no money in our bank account. We were the money, you know, and so we had to find a way to create value within the chapter and create revenue and create a buzz, and we literally did that between the four of us. But it was a joint effort, you know what I mean, and the execution of that, a lot of it was part of James, you know what I mean, and his vision and the way that he was able to produce. And so yeah, I knew from that moment, you know, I saw it in him, and I saw it in my other brothers too, you know, and everybody's prospering and doing very well to their own respect. And you know, all those talents that we saw back then are just more prevalent now.
Hey man, college was fun, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went, you know, even though I had my ups and downs in college, you know, I wouldn't trade it for nothing, man.
Definitely more ups and downs, though.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
This is the office right here. But I ain't, you know, that's all my desk and all that stuff. Yeah, this waterproof. Okay. All this right here is waterproof. Yeah. You did this? No.
Okay, I'm about to say,
Boy.
I'm about to step
If
on
I did
behind
this,
you.
I'd be out laying floors.
Hey,
You know?
that's it.
But I got to put on my desk the sound system stuff. And then this is the other one. We did the floor for the multi-purpose room right here.
Okay.
Just like the multi-purpose prayers right here. So,
You figure how you do the vibe? You said you wanted to do something.
yeah, I'm gonna put a hole in the wall. And once I put the hole in the wall, they can walk this, they can pick whatever back from there.
Okay.
So we just have like chairs and tables in here, something like that, just so they come and eat. Or do the kids or something like that. And other than that, that's about it.
Okay.
So
That's what's up, man.
But yeah, that's about it for this.
And then, so when are you thinking about, starting your first service?
I said,
August?
It's gonna be more than that.
3 days
It might be in
after.
September. First of all, my name is Pastor Terence Hobbs. I'm the senior pastor of the Victory Deliverance Outreach Church. That's where we are now. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, and everyone is valuable to the kingdom. So that's where we are. Right? So we have been established about 2 years now. We started out, I believe, in February of 2019, and I was installed as pastor in May, the 4th of May, and we've ventured from Landover where we started. Then God moved us to Laurel, and after Laurel we went to Capitol Heights, and now we're here in the city of Accokeek, Maryland. So it's been a blessing, the growth of the ministry, the blessings that God placed upon our life, and we're just excited about what we do. That's all. We are neighbors, pretty good neighbors. It's a good thing to have I like to call James a brother. It's a good thing to have a good brother beside you. I remember when we moved in, there was nobody beside us for a while, and we were always concerned about who would go next door to us, right? And one day we met James and his wife, well, not his wife at the time. We met him, and we just kicked off ever since. We both sports fanatics. We love basketball. We both competitive. We both are competitive. So I would say that our relationship it's been really good. But not just in a sports sense. James has a really brilliant mind. He has a really calm way of approaching and attacking certain situations, and he's real methodical in helping you through certain situations. We've had times where we've talked, and it's really been, as I can say, thinking about it, he helped me through. Just us being neighbors and as brothers. So it go beyond sports. It's more or less, the guy's just brilliant. I'll just say that.
It's good. LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron or Jordan? Me.
I heard that. Hey,
Me.
we hoop,
Me.
Hey.
I ain't got my rings with me though, but me.
So, James is working on this project, IPGen. If you could, tell us your thoughts on the project itself, and kind of what your expectations are of the product.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of information on the project itself, just some small amounts. But what I will say is just listening to his vision. We've had conversations, and his vision, what he want to be able to do, where he want to go, where he's trying to take it, and how he's trying to expand it to help others, and just listening to how he has, masterfully put things together. I think that it's going to be something awesome. First of all, it's got to be awesome. It has to be. Anytime your logo is a brain and a light bulb half and half, that lets you know right there. I told you the guy's brilliant. So, but his heart, he puts his heart into it. He invests his time into it, and I believe that all of his studies and all of the things that he's accomplished, up to this point, it's going to benefit the world. It's going to benefit anybody that come in contact with this company. It's going to benefit. It's going to benefit. I promise you it will. He really has it together. I just can't wait to see it. I'm glad he's my neighbor. Like I told him, if he move, I'm moving. So that's how connected we are. I said, if you move, James, I'm moving too. I don't mind. For the project, if you want me to pass flyers out for you, because the passion that he showed, and I see how I've been over to his house. I've been into his office. I don't have an office like his. I have an office, but he got an office. So I watched him. We sat there, we talked in his office at the desk, and just listening to him. I just can't wait to see what happens with this project. I can't wait.
That's awesome. If you had to describe James in one word, what would it be?
Driven. Just being around you.
Okay.
Being around you, watching, listening. I think that would sum it up. If anybody knows you, anybody that's watching this, if they know you, they had a personal relationship with you, they'll understand why I say it.
Yeah.
And if anybody don't know you, all they have to be around just for a few seconds, they understand. You're not lazy at all. He's not. He's always thinking. So.
And this is James on camera, but you know, just to talk about Terence a little bit, you know, we moved to a new neighborhood, and it was great to have somebody there, you know, who did things, you know, similar to what I did, you know, basketball. You know, we used to hoop together before this pandemic, twice a week at 6 in the morning. We would get out, you know, get out there, and you know, at some mornings it was tough because, you know, you roll over, you're like, man, I don't feel like getting up, but it's like once you step in that building, once you step on that court, you're like, that's why I got up, and then you just have fun, you know, and so we had a good time playing sports. You know, it's always a good person to talk to, like our rides to the gym, you know. I usually like listening to the music in the car heavy, you know. I'm an old school dude, you know. I have my music up loud, but every time, you know, Terence and I rode in the car together, it was always down low, and we had a great conversation on the way to the gym. I'm just excited about, you know, where his ministry has come from when he started. You know, I've seen it. I was there when he was, you know, all the way at the beginning, and to see where it is now is just amazing. You know, and whatever he needs, I'm here for him. And you know, we just gonna grow together.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, you know, we're in the same neighborhood now, but you know, we're gonna move up and grow and do all that stuff together, man. I just appreciate you being a neighbor, even to the point where, like, you know, if we're out of town, you know, he'll grab my package. If I'm out of town, he'll grab my package. You know, it's just little things like that you don't, you know, realize how important it is until you have it. So, you know, definitely appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. To piggyback off what you just said, it's nothing like having a neighbor that can give you a ride to the gym, and you come back home and you just get out the car and go next door. That is one of the best. You don't have to ride, you don't have to drop me off and go all the way somewhere else. Yeah. Man, we ride together, we go. Now, one thing I gotta say, once we get on that beltway, James hitting the gas, he like, we gotta get there. I used to be sitting in my seat like this, holding the seatbelt, like, oh gosh. But I will say this, James and his family have been great neighbors to live beside. Like I said, man, we've had our moments of talking where he even poured into me, you know, and it was needed at the time. And not only that, we like old school neighbors, you know, we a community. You know, he's not home, I look out for his place. I'm not home, he does the same. If we have packages out there and I know he's out of town, hey, can you get it? I got you. You know, take his package in the house, I shake it to see what's in it. Nah, I don't. But I take it, I put it in the house until he get back. You know, it doesn't matter how long he's away. And I make sure if there's packages at his door, I put them up. But you know, that's just because you care, you love, and you appreciate people that you gain a relationship with. So I will say this, like, this is not just a project, this is a lifestyle. That was tight.
It was.
You gotta end with that.
It was. Boom. Period.
I remember you said to me in the house, you said, get that man that stuff. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You said, give him that stuff, man, because where you get ready to go, that little bit of stuff right there, even though you know it was ours, man, it's okay, because some people act like, just give it to him, man, because what you get right here is going to be far greater than what you get. Yeah. And then, what could that carpet do for this room? That little piece of carpet. So I tried to take something, but it was meant for you to have my mail that day, so you could tell me that. Because other than that, I was like, I rolled it up, and it was like, God always has somebody that tempers you, you know what I mean, to share with you. And it's like, yo, I told that story so much, I said, man, my neighbor was so level-headed at the time when I really wasn't, because I felt like, man, you know, we try to do what we can here, and then all of a sudden this guy acting like this. He was like, man, listen, with God, you ready to take y'all, man, just give it to him. It's far greater where you're going than what you trying to keep. Even though you bought it, that's yours, but just give it to him. And guess what? Look, some months later or a year later, this is.
How was the? What did y'all go? Went to a cigar bar?
It was nice.
Okay, of course I can't get this
Okay.
without getting my shirt ready.
I do it all.
What did y'all smoke?
Tenenbaums, I think.
Let me. It's because it's tiny. I'll hold it. Can. I usually don't have trouble with this can like this. Actually, you know what? I usually get the pop for these. Pop.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Y'all got a cooking show, man? What's going on? What are you making, Tiana? You making chili? What are you making?
No, I'm just making some penne and red sauce.
But what kind of meat is it? Is it chicken or turkey?
Turkey.
But turkey meat, you know, we're trying to stay a little healthy, eat a little clean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll get closer with it.
So you know I don't cook right, so this is fascinating to see like 3 eyes going at the same time on the stove. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
This one got 5 to make it in stove now with like 8, 10, 12 eyes, like crazy.
My name is Tiana Brinkley, and I'm James' wife.
and how long have you guys been married?
It's good.
3 going on 4 years in September.
Jamie, come here.
And if you had to describe James in one word, what would it be?
Tenacious. Is that a good word? So, yeah, James and I met in high school. I think sophomore homeroom. It was probably the first class we had together, with our last names both beginning with B. Then we had a few classes down the line, AP Chemistry, can't even think, AP English, bunch of geek classes. But we were friends for a while. We kind of hung out during our college years, spent some time together, and then we reconnected just a few years ago, 2016, I think, yeah. We connected in 2016, and the rest is history, I guess. He was a good student. Let's see, what's a good way to describe how he was in school? You know how some people just get stuff, don't really have to study? He's one of those kind of people. So work was getting done. I wouldn't say he was always like doing work, but it got done when it needed to be done. So good student, I guess.
In terms of the project, I mean, you've been around obviously since the beginning, even a lot longer than I have. Talk to us about the project or the IPGen, the product itself. I guess tell us your thoughts on the product itself, and I know James had made a transition from IBM to being self-employed. So you want to kind of talk about that a little bit?
So when he first had this idea, he was kind of up for nights, just writing notes every time something new came to him. He was up just adding more notes to a paper, kind of coming up with the concept and kind of defining the concept. And then finally he was just like, you know what? I think I want to quit my job. And it's like, okay, so how do you approach that? He kind of said, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. How do you feel about it? And generally, you kind of take some time to think about things, but seeing the concept, seeing what it was about, and the automations he had in mind, it just kind of like was a no-brainer. So we kind of put a plan in place with a contingency plan, and we just move forward. I think it was like minutes. Hey, I want to do this. What do you think? Sounds good. Let's do it. That's just how it went. Obviously, plans don't always go as you like them to, which is why you have contingency plan A, B, C, D. But yeah, that's how we started, and I stand behind the product. I think it's great. I think most people would describe him as a good guy, but when you think he's right, and he's not wrong. Like, if you ever meet somebody that gotta have the last word, that's gonna be James.
You gonna say hi to the people?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
And can Daddy talk for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just to add a little bit to what Tiana was saying, I would say that none of this could be done without her, you know, being here with me, being by my side. Excuse you. With her being by my side, I really needed that, you know, on that support system. She's been holding it down, you know, for me and helping me out a lot, especially with the kids, you know. I have to be downstairs a lot right now, and, you know, things can get tough sometimes with, you know, me being down there a lot. But she's working, she's, you know, doing a lot with the kids right now. And so, you know, I owe everything with this to her, and I definitely appreciate her from the bottom of my heart. Isn't that right, man? We love mommy?
Yeah.
You love mommy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mommy, my best friend.
Oh.
Mommy, your best friend? Who else? Holden?
Oh, yeah.
Holden's not here right now. Holden's in Texas. But, he'll be back soon. Yeah, Texas.
What?
But yeah, so you know, we long time known each other, over 20 years. Over 20 years. Yeah. Same high school, all that good stuff. We're going back to eat now.
So where do you see this project being in the next 5 to 10 years? What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I think it could be huge. What that looks like specifically, I don't know if I can kind of put a definition to it. But I think it's going to take off. But I don't want to, you know, speak too soon. But the reason I'm behind it and reason I'm behind him is because I believe in him. I believe in what he's doing, and it makes sense. Like, it's easy to kind of disregard something that's like a pie in the sky kind of idea, but this is like a real thing that has real linear effects with it, and the planning is there, the concept is solid. Like, I mean, again, like I said before, it's a no-brainer, so I'm behind it. I think it's gonna do great.
I don't know what he be cooking in his house, but the smell comes over, right? I think it's like, go ahead, what you want to talk about? I don't want to know.
I can't. Babe, I'm not good at this. I don't know what to say.
Okay. You need my whole government name?
Yeah, man. Put it
My
out
name
there.
is Dante.
Dante Leon Jofferion.
Leon?
How many seats you think you have in the
Probably like 8,000.
I thought he would be more supportive about this, but he's not. He's not helping me at all.
I'm feeding our son right now, so you can be quiet.
He's feeding our son the food I couldn't have asked him to feed him.
Metro PCS.
Oh yeah, Metro. Me and James used to sell cell phones at Metro PCS outside. We didn't work for Metro PCS. We just sell them outside of Metro PCS before they get in. Man, look, we just working hard, man. That's all we doing. Yeah, we doing is working hard.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I can't have my neighbor next door to me with the little light bulb on his business cards, and I don't work hard. I'm sorry, you got the light bulb on one side, the brain on the other side. Come on, man. Think. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Somebody say, what would Jesus do? What would James do? Because that's the same initials, ain't it? WWJD. What would James do? Y'all remember that? I said, what would James do? WWJD.